or after 11 o'clock, and 27 degrees. Scaringly, Barbara's prediction of 28 degrees is getting close. No, 29 degrees, wasn't it, Barbara? Where mine was 30 degrees. So we're going to just zip on past Barbara's prediction in no time. Don't worry about it. It's going to be a blinder of a day. It is. Wednesday, March the 2nd here at Galaxy. I think it's March the 1st over where our artist is right now. So pinch and a punch for everybody over that side of the world. But first of all, folks, let me do this.
Galaxy 107fm.
That's right, you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM, and for those of you that are watching on Facebook Live right now, got to welcome you back again. Believe me, absolutely fantastic interview today. I've been so looking forward to this one, I really have. And don't forget, for those of you, I kind of lost it, here we go. For those of you that are going to be watching a little later on over there on YouTube, you know what to do, right? No, you do, you really do. Sub, thumb, bell. Bingo. Bell notifications let you know when we have important people like, of course, the man today is Ken Valdez, and believe me, I am absolutely loving his work. As an engineer myself, I really, very rarely find a band that I get interested in. This is fantastic. But in the meantime, I got to say how happy we are to be in association with Rise Up TV, Big Record, and Sony Music, The Orchard. Check this out.
Another indie artist interview brought to you by Galaxy 107fm in association with Rise Up TV, Big Record, and Sony Music The Orchard.
Absolutely, and believe me, you're going to absolutely love this. You really are. So kicking it off, let's do it right up front. Here's Ken Valdez, and one hand on the bottle. Here at Galaxy. So that gives us a couple of minutes to get to know each other.
Sure.
Now, I see here you've got a who's who of who you've shared the stage with. Literally. I see one of these artists in there is a Kiwi.
Oh, gosh, which one?
Keith Urban.
Yeah, there you go. Yeah, we did a show in Sturgis several years back.
Oh, I love Sturgis. I love Sturgis. Not only am I a studio engineer, but I'm a front of house engineer as well, and I've toured the world, literally with some of the biggest bands in the world, if you know what I mean.
Beautiful.
And we did a show at Sturgis. It was, mate, you couldn't get me away from those bikes if you tore me away.
Yeah, that's a whole, Sturgis is a whole other world, man. I haven't been back in a few years, but there was a point in time where I would do that, God, every year for 10 years at least.
It was the first place I ever went to go and see a live WWE wrestling show.
Oh, wow. Really?
Yeah, I actually got to see Hulk Hogan and what's that black guy's name? Never mind. I forget his name. But Booker T.
Nice.
Way back in the day. Believe me, that's going back a bit. It really is. But they used to have some of this really unusual kind of drink that comes in a mason jar. Clear stuff. You could drive your bike on it, apparently.
Oh, it's called moonshine.
Probably.
Moonshine.
Yeah, it is. Actually, talking of that, do you follow the Moonshiners on TV?
I don't, unfortunately.
Okay, there's a couple of stars on there that are friends of ours.
Oh, wow, right on. Now I'll have to check it out.
Yeah, go and check out Josh Owens. Brilliant guy.
You got it.
Absolutely brilliant guy. Ken, I got to let you know, as an engineer, I meant what I said. I don't often find a band that really interests me because, believe me, I hear bands every day. You know what I mean?
Right.
But when I heard your music, I had to know a bit more about it. I really did.
Oh, fantastic. Thank you so much.
I really liked it. I really do. And I don't think there's enough blues played here, to be honest with you. So I'm loving this.
I'd love to get out there. So yeah, that's a good thing.
We'll talk about that, my friend. We will. That's right, you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM. So happy to have everybody joining us this morning. Sean Simpson, love you darling. Thank you for joining us back again. Franco Nanucci is in the house. Nice to have you on board as well. And looking forward to following what you're doing, especially with Denroy Morgan over there in Jamaica. I'm really, really looking forward to getting more information about that. I really am. And I also have a friend of mine who was born in Jamaica that you may want to meet up with as well. We're going to be interviewing him very, very shortly, I think next week, to be honest with you. His name's Milton. Having said that, today we're joined by Ken Valdez coming out of Minneapolis. Welcome to to Galaxy, Ken.
Thank you. It's nice to be here.
Now, Ken, Minneapolis, isn't this the place you have your car racing?
Excuse me?
Isn't that where you have your car racing? Something like the NASCAR or something like that?
Oh, that's Indianapolis. That's a whole state away, but Minneapolis is probably best known for Prince.
There you go. Absolutely. Having said that, I've been in some states myself, in different states as well, so forgive me.
No worries. Sometimes I wonder where I am too, so we're all good.
Yeah, believe me. I ended up literally finding that one airport much looked like another to another, and sooner or later you're asking not only which city you're in, but which country you're in. You know what I mean?
I completely understand.
Having said that, and I do have a young lady coming out of Glasgow right now. Her name is Diane. She's asking, Ken, are you looking at getting back on stage with the pandemic in mind? Of course, are you looking at doing any tours anytime soon? And are you looking at doing a world tour?
I would love to get out and do a world tour. That's the goal at this point in time. But I guess really at this point in time, it's baby steps in a sense. You know, the pandemic was something that hit really hard over here, and my family and I have been very we've been very cautious about it. We've been looking at things and trying to be as safe as we possibly can be. And with that said, yeah, it looks like the numbers are finally starting to go down, which is very encouraging. So I'm definitely looking at getting back out and hitting the road, and hopefully sooner rather than later, definitely be looking at a worldwide thing.
That's really cool, because I want to talk to you about maybe doing a tour very, very shortly as we go through this interview. But first of all, I do have another fan question for you.
Sure.
How do we get in touch with you? Are you on Facebook? Are you on Twitter? Are you on Instagram? Are you a talker? But more importantly, Ken, do you respond?
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Yeah, you can find me on Facebook and on Instagram. Both of those are Ken Valdez Music. So, yeah, Facebook and Instagram is Ken Valdez Music. Twitter, I believe, is just Ken Valdez. But yeah, by all means, if you guys hit me up, I love corresponding, and that's one of the beauties. It's, the internet or social media, there's obviously the real downsides to it. But as far as being a musician in this day and age, it's a beautiful thing, man, to be able to connect with friends and fans, introducing them to music that they may not have heard. And so I'm all about that. So, yes, by all means, drop me a line. Hit me up.
Ah, man, I don't respond to anybody. I got to be honest with you. I would have said no, literally. You're going to have another 5,000 Facebook fans in no time. Twitter, through the roof, literally. Now, Ken, we opened up the show with one hand on the bottle. Tell me a little bit about this, because I'm very, very intrigued with the song.
The song was really interesting. I was on the road, and it was we had done a West Coast of the U.S. tour, got done with it, came back, and ended up doing a kind of like like a class, if you will, a seminar for a group of college kids who were studying engineering and whatnot. Well, here's the thing. It was in Minneapolis, and at the time, I was touring with Brian Hargrove, Colonel Hargrove of the group Public Enemy. He was playing drums with me, and the class was for a guy named St. Paul Peterson. And St. Paul, that name was given to him by Prince, so he is absolutely 100% part of the whole Prince contingency out here in Minneapolis. So he was in, if you watch Purple Rain, he's like the only white guy in the time. And, he's been in Time and in the offshoot, The Family for Prince, and he's played with everybody from, Prince and The Family to Peter Frampton to, even Donny Osmond of all people, right? So he's just been there and done that. We do this seminar, and part of it was, why don't we come up with a song on the spot? So literally, the song was recorded. Lyrics were added on just a little bit later, but not by much. That was all of like maybe a take or two, written within a span of 10 or 15 minutes, just kind of like trying to figure out what exactly we were going to do. That was it. And it just turned out to be such a fun song, man. So there you go. And I guess lyrically, both Paul Peterson and myself, as we had discussed a little earlier before we got on the air, we kind of put the bottle down a while back. And so that was just about those times where maybe we didn't have that bottle down. So we're revisiting some of those old demons, if you will.
Gotcha. Absolutely gotcha. Terry Van Cannon's in the house. Nice to have you on board, my friend. It really, really is. I got to let you know, Ken, Terry Van Cannon, coming out of North Carolina, is a slide steel master. He really, really loves his stuff. He really does. Blues king there on the slide steel. He really is. And now, at the same time, my friend, I'm really, really interested in this. How you would classify your music literally as soulful singer-songwriter, guitarist whose unique style fuses the Rio Grande blues, rock, Latin sounds that with that down-home Memphis funk. Now, believe me, I've been to Memphis, Tennessee, and I've had some of the local dishes there. Absolutely love the crawfish, I've got to be honest with you. Toured with some really big bands through the United States. And I've got to say that I absolutely love Tennessee. It's one of my more favourite places in the United States. So I'm absolutely honoured to be able to get this interview underway. Having said that, we did discuss whether you did the Facebook and stuff like that. Tracy from Dunedin here in New Zealand is asking, do you have a website? How do I download music? Where do I buy it? Do you have merch?
I do have merch. I do have CDs. You can buy anything physical off of my website, which is kenvaldez.com. And if you guys want to download or want to stream anything, whatever your favorite platform may be, my music should be on there.
Nice. Now, at the same time, I want to cover the name of the album. Believe me, Saints and Sinners. I've known a good argument on both sides of this, believe me, in my time, but I'm loving the hat.
Oh! Ready for this? You see that?
Yes. I love that. That's brilliant. You know I'm going to ask you for one now, don't you?
This was actually given to me as a gift, so if I can get in touch with that fan that gave it to me, yeah. So I want another one too. I love it. This might be my next tattoo, actually. So I'm all about that.
That's cool, and I love a bit of ink myself. I got to be honest with you. Big fan of the ink industry. Really, really am. Having said that, I'm a bit of a devil, literally. But I got to be honest with you. I've never met the Devil Man yet. So tell me about this, Ken. I'm really, really fascinated with this track.
Devil Man. Wow. Okay. Well, I come from Santa Fe, New Mexico originally. So, if anybody's familiar with that, with Santa Fe, very Old West, very that kind of folklore, if you will, cowboys and all that good stuff, right? Well, there's a bar, this little cantina out in Santa Fe called El Farol, and it is the oldest bar in New Mexico. And literally, you can go in there and you're sitting down and you feel the history. It's 1820, I believe, is how old it is. It's from 1820. But what's awesome about it is the bar itself. There's still like bullet holes in there and everything, right? So it's incredible. But going back to it's so funny because we got one hand on the bottle about putting the bottle down. Well, this one was written before I put the bottle down. I was hanging out in this cantina, and the bartender was a dear friend of mine, and it was just one of those things where it was like a late night, and we're just hanging out, just talking, and just copious amounts of tequila, and Billy Gibbons in the air, man. ZZ Top was playing through the stereo, and it just kind of took on a life of its own. I wrote that song pretty much right then and there, probably 4 o'clock in the morning, feeling absolutely no pain. Devil Man, it was kind of a tongue-in-cheek thing in a sense because what we were drinking was a tequila called Chamucos. And if you look at the Chamucos label, and if you look at what the Chamucos bottle actually comes in, it's a bag that has a little devil guy on it. So we were like, this is how that whole myth started. That whole this is what happens when you drink. Well, there we go. And away we went. And I just combined a late night out at a cantina with a lot of tequila and Billy Gibbons playing in the air. That's kind of where it all came about.
I get it. I really, really understand that. I do. Grace Miles is joining us. Nice to have you on board, Grace, here at Galaxy, joining us live as Ken Valdez, the man himself, and Devil Man. Oh God, it's hot in here. It really is.
What bands did you tour with by chance?
In Excess?
Oh, well, yeah, that doesn't suck at all. Sure.
No, believe me. I was there the day we got the news about his passing.
God.
Believe me.
Yeah.
I was there when she came out, and all the managers and the bosses and everybody, they congregated. Because we had about 300 staff. You see, we had 3 stages that were leapfrogging each other.
Sure.
And all I had to do was just basically go on site, plug and play. You know what I mean?
Right.
I knew the routine, I knew everything. We were there for 36 months, for God's sake. We went to almost every country in the world, and it felt like every city as well. So, believe me,
we might run a bit late. So
we were there. And it was an absolutely devastating time because initially they basically were saying, here's your plane ticket.
Right.
You know what I mean?
Right.
Done and dusted.
That's heartbreaking.
Absolutely.
Absolutely. Oh my goodness.
But I've been the official New Zealand engineer for AC/DC for about 30 odd years.
Oh, right on.
Okay.
That's a band that I have always wanted to see, but I've never been able to do it. And I've been a fan of theirs forever. So
wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Well, I tell you what, a good friend of mine is the founder and the former lead singer of AC/DC. The very first lead singer, his name's Dave Evans. Would you like to meet him?
Sure.
I'll get Barbara to tee it up for you.
You got it.
Okay? Believe me. You'll love him. He's a great guy, but he's Australian. We love him to bits, but I mean, we us New Zealanders and Australians, we have this love-hate relationship, much like the Americans and the Canadians and the ice hockey thing. Ours is rugby union. And we have the All Blacks.
We do.
One of the best, if not the best, rugby team in the
But
world.
we don't have the World Cup though.
No, that was ripped off us by nature, would you believe?
It was.
Yeah, the World Cup was being held in Tokyo. What happens on the vital day? They have a whopping great storm.
So they played 4 and we
Yeah,
played
and we
3.
got dealt to by a Duckworth system.
Never
Sucked.
mind.
I think, was it Wales or something like that? South Africa won it.
Yeah.
Something like that. We gave up after that. Yeah, it was ripped off. Oh well, that's it. Next time. I mean, once we got beaten by France many, many years ago, and that was an honourable beating, you know what I mean? We deserved to get a hiding. Since then, we've just ruled the roost until Mother Nature comes along. We didn't deserve that one. Ken, I ask everybody this question, and please don't take offence, but are you a vegan?
Am I a vegan?
A vegan.
No.
So you're a meatologist like me?
Oh, absolutely.
Nice. It's just that, you see, I'm trying to find out, have you ever had a vegan sausage?
No.
Oh, good on you.
Okay. I'm trying to find out if they're made of real vegans.
I like it.
It's something to think about. That's right, you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM, and well, Ken, I got a little something I want to tell you. I know Billy Gibbons. In fact, I know him quite well. I've worked with ZZ Top in the past, and Barbara, unbeknownst to me, you see, we did this tour, this concert at Western Springs. The biggest city in New Zealand is Auckland, and the place to be in those days was Western Springs, and I was the engineer there. They needed an emergency engineer. Believe me, I think there was something up with the engineer. He got caught up in Australia, wouldn't let him out of the country or something. Maybe he was having a baby. I don't know. But I got called in to do the job, and I got to meet Billy and the rest of the crew. Unfortunately, for the young man that passed away not so long ago. But in the crowd there, unbeknownst to me, back in those days, never knew a thing about it, was Barbara. And I was talking to her one day, and she goes, "Yes, I know you were the engineer there. I saw you." I went, "Really? Did you?" And she gave me her ticket.
Oh, wow. There you go. The Afterburner tour, too. So how cool is that?
Yeah, she did. Believe me. And it was a great, great time. It really was. Nice to meet those guys. It really was. It was an education. But having said that, Billy Gibbons is very, very fond of cars, especially antique cars. And he comes to New Zealand, has a look at the car shows around New Zealand quite a bit.
Sure.
And, oh, by the way, I was talking to you about AC/DC. Well, one of the former drummers too, Philip Rudd, only lives about an hour and a half away from us right now.
Oh, my goodness.
So,
oh, my goodness.
So what I'm trying to say to you is... And,
I gotta get out to your neck of the woods.
Yeah, basically... How would you feel about coming down under here to Aotearoa, New Zealand, and performing in front of New Zealand audiences?
I would absolutely love that.
We would love to have you here. In fact, we would love to be able to include you into some of the shows that, well, you know, this COVID thing has kind of put things on the back burner a little bit.
Right.
But again, we are looking at opening up our borders very, very shortly, actually. The feeling is coming back, you know what I mean?
Yes,
Starting to get that concert itch again, want to get into it, and we would love to be able to put you into one of our shows. Would you?
Yeah, I'd be honored.
You would consider that?
Oh, absolutely.
Do you know anything about New Zealand?
Well, just other than than it being the penal colony way back in the day.
No. We were not.
Oh,
No,
no.
that's Australia.
Okay, see, that makes a whole lot of sense now, right? From
Yeah.
what we were talking about.
Exactly. I mean, England did the did the Cuban thing and dumped all of its. I think that's where the Cubans got their idea. Dumped all the criminals into Australia, literally,
Oh.
way back in the day. There is some nice people there. I must admit, I'm still yet to find one, but there is some nice people there. I've been told. I think their Prime Minister is four times crazy. You never know, but Morrison. He's when this pandemic opened up, the very first thing he had to do was paint his plane.
Well, if you got a plane, I guess, right?
Well,
It's-
government money. Let's not worry about the people. Let's paint my plane. You know what I mean? Yeah, and then he comes over here to New Zealand and fronts up and believe me, we have a very, very gorgeous female Prime Minister, Jacinda Ardern. She's really a nice looking lady. Comes over here and thinks he's going to do the man thing and tell her what to do. Yeah, right, bro. Bing, you're off back on your plane. Go home, she goes, basically. We will do things
Nice.
our way. And believe me, I think if anybody was wearing the pants, she was that day, to be honest with you.
Oh, wow.
Love it. Absolutely love it. But New Zealand, literally, my friend, we're made up of 3 islands. And
Okay.
right down the very bottom of New Zealand is a little island, the only island that actually got a name, really, if you think about it. And it's a good manly name. It's called Stewart Island. And take you down there and get you some mutton birds. Believe me, you'll love those. Then the next island up from that, heading up our way, and believe me, I think whoever named New Zealand absolutely lost the plot, ran out of ideas, also no imagination, called it South Island.
Well.
No, not a name that, I would never call my kids South. You know what I mean?
I hear you.
No matter what her name is, really. I wouldn't call her South. And then the one we're in right now, again, completely no imagination, we're North Island.
North Island, of course.
It had to happen, didn't it?
Oh, man. Well, to each their own, I guess. It's, unless you guys have a name-changing contest, or I don't know if it's a little too late for that, but...
Unfortunately, yeah, but there is a wrangle there with the native New Zealanders, the Maori as well. They want to revert everything back into their language, te reo, and us, white folks and, people who've always called Wellington, I don't know how the heck we pronounce it any other way, to be honest with you.
Sure.
But having said that, I do speak a little of the indigenous lingo as well. So I can understand what they're saying and know exactly when they're swearing at me without me wanting to know about it. Believe me, there's a few body gestures that gives it away as well sometimes. Having said that, look, it could become hell or high water, I don't know.
Bam! There we go.
It really could. Ken, tell me about hell or high water.
Hell or high water. Well, it's about a relationship that I was in, and this is coming from. This is actually the one song on the record, on the Saints and Sinners record that I didn't write. I included it because it was about me and about my situation. The person that wrote it didn't arrange it or have it sound anything like my version at all. So it's definitely a very unique take. So it's definitely my arrangement. I'll put it that way. But the story is, I was going through a rough time with the person I was seeing at that time, and it looked like things were on the outs, and ultimately were. But I had these 2 amazing people in my life who I think the world of, and they saw what I was going through, they saw what was happening, and they are incredible songwriters, and they're like, man, let's write about what Ken's going through right now. Unbeknownst to me. And then one night, we show up over at their place, and they're like, hey, we wrote this for you. I was just blown away. I was so moved because it was everything that I was feeling, everything I was going through, and the fact that they did that meant a lot to me. And so naturally, I just wanted to go ahead and take it and make it my own, and I did. But I thank Jim Oman and Sarah Kay every day for their friendship and now for this amazing song.
Keeping in mind, Ken, that we are a global station, we're heard in almost every single country in the world. This song has been making a connection with our audio audience, and that's what we call them, our Galaxy faithful. And believe me, today, 3,129 requests for Hell or High Water here at Galaxy.
Thank you, guys.
Believe me, bro, you've made a connection with our people, you know what I'm saying?
That's a beautiful thing, man. I had no idea. That's incredible.
Absolutely, absolutely, my friend. And well earned, well earned. I mean, we started playing your music, and I'm not kidding with you, Ken, without saying anything, okay? We just played it. And then we got all tied up on the interwebby thing because people wanted to know who, what, when, where, how, and how long is it going to be before you talk to them on the and do the interviews and stuff like that.
Sure. Wow.
And that kind of switched us on to, well, just maybe we should be doing this interview. Now, I've got to be honest with you, Ken, it's not easy getting an interview here. It really isn't.
No.
There's a whole host of things where you've got to tick the boxes first, right down to any given board meeting. We may have 8 to 10 board members, you know what I mean?
Sure.
And their only interest with this is our image. It's got to be good for our company. You got me? So once that all happens, goes back to Barbara. Barbara and production sort of work something out between them, and then I get it literally on a USB kind of deal that I Bluetooth to my car stereo.
Okay.
Now, there's a reason why I listen to artists in my car. 2 reasons actually. The first reason is I don't get any information on this, just the music. I don't get told who it is, what the title of the song is, nada.
Sure.
Right? Just the music, and I like it like that.
Yeah.
That way I can ascertain whether I want to do the interview based on the music or not.
I love that.
Second reason, bro, is nobody else wants to drive with me.
Why is that?
Well, you see, we live in between 3 major cities, okay? And we're in a foresting, milling town. And
Okay.
we came here purely for economics on buildings and stuff like that, being, Anyway, I know where the forestry hide their gate keys to the fire breaks.
Okay.
Okay? So I like to go driving.
I like it.
Barbara, her son is a New Zealand champion car racer that goes sideways, right? Her grandson is a champion New Zealand car racer, goes sideways. Get in the car with me? Not a chance.
No, I love it. I
Different.
love
It's
it.
true. It's true. It really is true.
I
So,
absolutely have to get down there
Ken,
and see y'all. That's it. I might have to take the challenge of driving with you.
Ken, when I first heard your music, I pulled my car over. Now, let me set the scene here.
Right.
Let me set the scene here. There's a little spot that I go to and drive past many, many times doing this. If I like the particular artist, I'll pull my car over. You can look down this valley. It's so picturesque. It's not funny, right? I set the music back to the start, turned it up, and I've got a kick-ass stereo in my car.
I love it.
Cracked a cold one and had a good time with that music. I think it's music to drive fast to.
I agree.
I love
agree.
it. I love it. Sean Simpson's sending me cars doing wheelies. Love it. But it's the truth. Honestly, nobody in these offices want to go driving with me.
He's a grandpa driver and I'm the race car driver, really.
Sorry?
I'm just telling everyone.
Who's the race car?
Me, I'm the race car
You're the
driver,
race car.
and you're the grandpa driver.
You're the dangerous granny on the road, I tell
in
you.
my car. I don't like being a
The
granny.
Beach
everyone.
Boys wrote songs about you.
They did Barbara Ann.
They did.
That's my name, Barbara Ann.
It is.
I hate that song.
She goes, I hate that song.
Like the Barbie song.
You'll get a copy of everything we do today, my friend, so I'll apologise now, okay? Excuse me. Now, at the end of this, hang in there, because we'll take some photos. Some of us, and then some of us together, you know what I mean?
Okay.
Barbara will put it all together in a big movie and send it over to you so you can show your friends and everything like that. You know, crazy Kiwis, not healthy, don't do it. Okay? But at the same time, you'll get some backstage shots from people that are in here that contribute everything as well, okay?
Fantastic.
He's
I
crazy,
can't
man.
wait.
Oh,
I reckon everyone.
well, the one after that is, we'll make you into a cartoon as well. Hey,
Oh, wow.
it's one of the few things that makes me look good, okay? That's right, you're right here at Galaxy 107 FM. And, well, you know, Ken, I've been an engineer now for almost 40 years. And as I say to you, it's not often that I find a band that absolutely intrigues me. What I would like to know, now, believe me, I listen to music intently. As an engineer, I break it down into its increments and, you know, figure out just how it's been structured, how everything's gone. Are you going to a professional studio or are you working from a home studio?
I do both, actually. The majority of that was recording in a studio called Stepbridge out in Santa Fe, New Mexico, quite a few years back. The interesting thing about this particular record was we had recorded this a while back, and it was lost. And what happened was, here I am in Minneapolis, and I'm cleaning out my house, and I find this CD. Remember those things, CDs, you know? Some people use them as coasters, and some people just throw them at each other these days. Well, I found a CD that had my name on it, and I put it in. I didn't know what it was at first, and when I started hearing it, I go, oh, yeah, I remember this. We never really finished it. It wasn't quite right, and unfortunately, my best friend, who was also my bass player, just my right-hand man, he passed away, so we couldn't finish it. We couldn't really get it done. Enter the whole COVID thing, and I finally, I have all the time in the world. Here's the thing, is all the tracks were missing. They were gone. They were nowhere to be found. Ironically, I get a phone call from the engineer that had recorded this record and was, saying, "Hey, the studio had sold. I'm literally going through a computer and a hard drive that was in the trash, but I found a session of yours on there. Would you want it?" Absolutely. I just found that record. So, it was just this really serendipitous, it's a miracle that thing even survived and existed. So I got it, and this was essentially my big pandemic project. I was able to record whatever I needed to record that wasn't on the record the first time around here in my studio. And here was the kicker. The kicker was the band Korn was working on their new record. Well, the guy who mixed this record, and he was also, I listened as a co-producer because he really went above and beyond. He was working on the new Korn record while I was doing this. The guy that produced the Korn record threw down some drums and also mastered my project during the making of the new Korn record. The fact that they took time to work with little old me while they're doing such a huge project was amazing. So that's how this whole thing kind of came about, you know, and I'm really happy about that. So yeah, it took place in a big studio in Santa Fe, New Mexico, my little studio here, and then out in, I believe it was Bakersfield, California, at the Corn place, where Corn was doing their thing.
You know, the reason I asked that, Ken, and believe me, I've noticed this insurgence over the last 5 or so years now, that literally, being a studio engineer myself, you know what I mean, I'm noticing the rise of how many bands are doing their own work at home in their own home studios and how good they are. Literally, these are getting so good that as a professional engineer, I'm kind of worried. You know, how long am I going to keep my job now? These guys are getting good. Who told them they could do that? Gosh,
Right.
you know, but believe me, as I say to you, and I have worked with some of the biggest bands in the world, that I absolutely find something in your music that absolutely fascinated me. Yeah, and I was just wondering, was it the structure? Was it the way the engineers recorded it? Was it done professionally in a studio? Was it done at home? And the mindset of the person that put it together. These are the things I kind of work out while I'm listening to your music. You know what I mean? I
love it.
I really go deep. I really do, you know.
I love it.
Right down to what were you drinking at the time, and can I have some too? Please, you know what I mean? Having said that, Ken, I also note that, and over the years that I've spoken to these bands, some of the work that the bands write in 5 minutes on a McDonald's napkin have the longest longevity. You know what I'm saying?
Sure.
I find that with your music, and I find that with our audience who request your songs. These songs, I think, are at a basis now where our audience is just relating to it and getting to know you. We have asked you if you want to come to New Zealand. You've indicated you want to do that.
Absolutely.
All I can say there is, if you're going to hook up with me, bruh, bail money. Bring some bail money. You might need it, believe me. You might do.
Oh my God, I love this guy. That's great. Oh,
As I said, it's going to be like no other interview you've ever done before.
you're absolutely correct, and I love it. This is great.
Tell me about Seoul Renegade, because for me, and believe me, we're getting into the to the deep end of the water right now, and I really had to listen to this a number of times. I had to, as I said, I break it down. I listen to stuff normally, not as a fan would listen to it, but as an engineer, right?
Sure.
This song absolutely fascinated me, so much so that I went back again and again and again to listen to it over and over again. Tell me why I did that.
Wow. I don't know. You're a glutton for punishment?
Maybe.
No. The song was written by myself and St. Paul Peterson, who we had talked about, so that Portraits offshoot. And we also had Doyle Bramhall, too. So Doyle, the Archangels, Eric Clapton, Sheryl Crow, he's that guy. He's very well known, very well respected. And he was also involved in the writing of this particular song. Paul and I started doing a lot of writing sessions at his house right before the making of this record. Just we threatened to do some stuff, and when we finally got a chance to actually write, things were just coming together. Like there was just something very magical about what was going on. Being that he was very much from the R&B and funk side of things and jazz side of things, and I'm more on the blues and rock side of things, there was something really, really cool happening musically. The other thing about it is both of us are very big on big hooks, big choruses, making sure that melody is present. Enter Doyle Bramhall, too, who just kind of took things to a whole other level and put his Doyle spin on it. And so yeah, it was a lot of fun to write. We ended up doing that here in Minneapolis at the old Flight Time Studios, where Jimmy Jam and Terry Lewis did all the Prince and all the Janet Jackson, Michael Jackson, Bryan Adams stuff. Yeah. So it was a lot of fun to record there. But that was kind of the gist of the song. It's also very autobiographical, if you will. Came out of a rough point in my life, only to the outlaw rides again.
Absolutely, and I get the connotation. I was reading about that earlier on this morning as well. Donnie Coulter is back. Nice to see you again, my friend. Where you been? You haven't been in jail or anything like that, have you, bro? Really? DIC, drummer in charge, something like that? You never know with Donnie, you don't. Welcome back, bro. In the meantime, here is Ken Valdez live with Seoul Renegade.
Nice.
So we have whiskey and water. This is the last one, my friend. Now,
Sure enough.
I do have a couple of questions from a couple of fans that I'll ask you very, very shortly. How many countries this morning?
Oh no, Donnie missed out on the jail thing.
Oh,
Oh no, Donnie.
Countries.
Poor
yeah,
you.
how many countries?
380.
Anyway,
384,
it's nice
okay,
to
that's
see
not
you all.
384 countries this morning are online.
Woo! All right.
That's not bad. That's
Not bad at all.
572.
okay. 572 cities are online.
I'll take that too.
That's not bad. You're a superstar.
No.
You really are, believe me.
Just look at me.
They'll make it.
Talking about renaming things, have you
Yeah, he's a
have you ever
DJ
considered?
on his own
We're
podcast.
finding new planets all the time these days, right?
I'm sorry, what was that?
We're
New
finding
planets?
new planets all the time, aren't we? And we're finding new moons at the same time. Now, scientists in the world literally are naming these. They're not going over there knocking on the door saying, "Can we name your planet?" They're naming these things, right?
Right. North. What about north or south?
Well, yeah, I really do want to rename those two lines. I really do. But if you realise that, what about our moon? I mean, everybody else
It's
is.
moon?
Yeah, it's just moon.
Right.
I reckon we should rename it.
I agree.
What about Celestial Body Brian?
Celestial body. What?
Brian.
Well, that could work.
Well, it sort of covers the man in the moon kind of deal, doesn't it? Yeah.
Yes.
And
yes.
besides, it would look. I think it would look great on a check.
They don't have checks anymore. We're filling past, Grant.
Look at that. What are you signing? Celestial Body Brian.
Can't do that anymore. No checks.
Real name. Can't do that?
No.
Oh, okay. All right. Well,
Cashless society now.
I asked Ken earlier on about the vegan sausage kind of deal. I did. I went there, Well, I have to find out because I was disappointed when I found out that Girl Guide biscuits aren't made of real Girl Guides, for God's sake.
Oh my God. Oh man.
Oh, he was.
You sure you don't want those phone numbers, bro? I've got some good psychologists for you.
Grant's been a
Keep
stand-up
your
comedian,
seat
as you can tell. Don't you feel sorry for us?
I used to be a stand-up comic.
Yes.
I love it.
Oh,
I can
dear.
tell.
Nice. Almost bordering on dad jokes very, very shortly. I really am.
Yeah, dad jokes are awesome though, man.
Oh, you want a good one?
Yeah, please.
Here's a good one for you. Why did the turkey cross the road?
Why?
Prove it wasn't chicken.
There we go.
Dad joke.
Dad joke.
Yeah.
I like it.
You'll forget that within a minute. You'll go back and watch this again and go, what were those jokes?
Oh no. I'm trying to keep that That mine's sharp right now, man. This is a good one.
Don't worry. I've had one person watch one of these interviews 20 odd times.
Hey, it's going to happen.
Oh, God.
I guarantee it. This one's going to be shared.
That's right. You're right here at Galaxy 107 FM. That's sad. Sorry, I just got given a message from an MP. Yeah, got sick of driving through the cemetery. Yeah, it's a depressing thing, it really is. Never mind. MPs, you can never trust these guys. They will take a shortcut anywhere. Even over your grave by the looks of it. Yuck. Anyway, my friend, yeah, something in the news. Apparently an MP's been caught out somehow, somewhere, doing something he shouldn't have with his vehicle. Maybe he was DIC as well. We call it drink in charge here, not drummer in charge. Literally. Newsflash, yeah, Grant's in trouble again. He's just broken a newsflash to somebody. Having said that, and we do talk to the members of Parliament quite a bit here at Galaxy, we do. And we have a very, very wonderful Prime Minister who is really concerned about looking after us here in New Zealand. Having said that, this pandemic has been nothing more than a curse. While this pandemic has been happening your way, now I have a two-part question coming from Petra from Charlotte, North Carolina, and she's asking, first and foremost, Ken, are you looking at touring the United States anytime soon? When can I go and see you live? And secondly, what would you say is the pinnacle of your career to date? What is the most important moment in your career?
Wow. Yes, I'm absolutely planning on touring, and we're working on that right now. So, by all means, keep an eye out on my social media and on my website, and you'll see some dates popping up. It's looking like I'll be getting busy again, which is a beautiful thing. I'm looking forward to getting back out and playing. As far as the pinnacle, man, that's a tough one. There's been a few. The one that I go back to right now when I think about it has been touring with ZZ Top. That's been an amazing experience. Billy Gibbons is a hero of mine, and to be able to share the stage with him and hang out with him and gain knowledge and just hang out, with him and the guys. That was an amazing time. Man, there's definitely been several, but I think as of right now, I'd probably say that's been a very big highlight, and I guess what's keeping me going. This was like the last big tour that I went on before COVID hit, right? So it kind of keeps me hopeful that we're going in the right direction.
Well, I certainly think you do, and well, I've only got one request for you. Don't stop doing what you're doing. Please, will you come back again? Will you release new music with us? Will you come and make fun of me? Whatever. Because you are now a family member at Galaxy. We would love to be able to continue on having this relationship with you. And we all here, and I speak for all of our staff, believe me, we all are very, very fascinated and love your music. We do. So please continue doing what you're doing. On my part, if you don't, I run out of work. If all the artists...
Yeah, well, I guess that means I got to get over there.
Yeah,
so,
exactly.
Or do music, so yeah.
Exactly, but believe me, if all the artists stopped making music, I wouldn't have a job to do. I really wouldn't. So
there we go.
It's kind of selfish of me to ask that, I must admit.
It's all right with me.
Having said that, and you don't drink anymore.
Not anymore, yeah.
Why do you make so many songs about alcohol then?
Oh, I know a lot about it. I know a little bit more about it than I probably should. You know, and it's one of those things. I want to make sure that people know this. I'm not out here trying to preach to anybody about how they live or what they should do or not do. Man, you know, like for some people, drinking is cool, and I'm fine with that. Go do your thing. You go be you. You know, I just have to, you know, leave the party just a little bit early. You know what I'm saying? But you know, if people want to do it and have a good time, by all means, please go ahead and do that. Just be responsible, be safe. That's all. You know, have a good time.
I understand that. Believe me, we used to have, well, when we went on tour, we used to have this, you know what, the green rooms, right?
Absolutely.
Okay, ours was called Moderation. That's where we went and drunk, in moderation.
I like it.
It's true, it absolutely is true. Believe me. Where's Grant? Oh, he's in moderation. Everybody knew where I was. But I want the skinny on Whiskey and Water. For me, this is my favourite Ken Valdez track.
Oh man, thank you. Yeah, it's a barroom anthem, man. It's a barroom anthem, and you know, it's just that, you know, night at the bar.
Fair enough. Fair enough. You don't want to get right down and dirty with it and tell me the whole story.
Oh, it's self-explanatory. I'll tell you that. You know, I mean, you listen to the words, and it goes from the just, you know, that night, and you start, you know, one place, you went into another place, and you know, by the end of it, you're looking for your keys, and they're telling you to go home.
Believe me, I was one of those people myself. Not so long ago, I got to be honest with you. So here at Galaxy is joined live by Ken Valdez, the man himself. Here is Whiskey and Water. Love this track, I do. I listen to this on my way home from work at night, and it's one of the first tracks I hear when I get in the car to come back to work in the mornings.
I love it. Thank you so much for that.
Absolute pleasure. It really, really is. I meant that when I said to you, please will you come back again, because we would love to continue releasing new music.
Can I have my phone?
Can you have your phone? Oh, by the way, we're watching you, watching me, watching you kind of thing.
No, I love, you say the same thing that I say a lot of times, that I watch you, watch me, watch you. Like, I do that. Yeah, that's awesome.
Nice, nice. Very cool. Are you busy? Okay, very cool.
Mm-hmm.
Ladies on computers all around me. All my bosses are female.
And that's a problem. How?
Oh, it's the furthest thing from a problem. It really, really is.
There you go.
You know, besides, they know how to throw bricks really good. Having said that, my mother used to be a wondrous person with a shoe. Like those Australian Aborigines and the boomerangs, you know. She had that mother hearing, you know. She'd be walking down the road, she'd hear you. Off comes the shoe, flying through the window, smack on the head.
Oh my gosh! For my mother, it was a clothes hanger.
Oh, clothes hanger.
Oh man, those were not fun. Yeah, those plastic clothes hangers were. Wow.
That's almost as bad as the jug cord.
Yeah, there you go.
In fact, I was talking to a man not so long ago, and his son was being a real pain in the posterior. And he says, oh, if you're not careful, I'll go and get the jug cord. This kid didn't know what a jug cord was.
No, we're not allowed to hit our children.
We're not allowed to hit our kids anymore. But
No, yeah, that's a whole...
And I don't advocate anybody do that.
No, yeah, all the time now, for sure.
I was brought up on the jug cord.
You were a naughty little boy.
Yeah,
the thing is, if you have a look at the bloody jug bases these days, the cord's this big.
Yes.
I mean, what the hell are you going to do with that?
Well, it's attached to a little round thing.
Yeah, I know. It's usually the guy throwing it at the time, a little round thing. Dear, oh dear, oh dear. Honestly.
Oh,
Kid,
that's so
you don't have to be silly to work here, but damn, it helps.
It helps.
It does. Yeah. It really does.
Yeah, I'm of that persuasion. Right before I did this interview, I was finishing up an interview for my podcast with a buddy of mine, and we both kind of were in that agreement that music and laughter, that's that common denominator. That's that common thread. And because everybody wants to laugh and everybody loves music, and that's the thing. So, yeah, man, I'm with you. It's a beautiful thing that you do what you do. So thank you for doing it.
No, it's an absolute pleasure, my friend. It really, really is. And believe me, I'm naturally funny because I always look like this. I got the perfect face for radio.
Oh, I love it.
And then Barbara comes along with a camera and says, I'm going to make you famous. Here we go again.
Oh, I'm talking to Doyle.
Are you talking to Doyle Hammond?
Yes.
Are you? Okay, very cool.
Yeah, 'cause it
are you
came up
familiar
from-
with the Hammond brothers?
Yes, that sounds very familiar.
They're very, very close friends of ours.
Oh, wow.
And,
Right on.
Yeah, Barbara's just communicating with them while she's doing this at the same time. We're setting up a meeting for them actually, very, very shortly with our friends over in Canada with Rise Up TV.
Oh, very nice.
So hopefully, Rise Up TV and the Hammond brothers will get their stuff together. The Hammond brothers have actually made a TV series as well, if you know what I mean. So
Yes.
oh,
Whoa. Sorry. Let me do this.
quick, pay the electricity bill. Open the fridge door.
Put
There
another
we
50
go.
cents in the bell.
I got you.
Yeah, put another 50 cents in the power meter. Oh dear, hold on. You know, I can't say arguably leaving the best to last because the whole damn lot are awesome. Really, they really are. I have so much respect for Ken Valdez, I really, really do. And I would be very honoured to have not only him visit here and play in front of New Zealand audiences, but, well, just maybe, you know, we might be able to share a cell together.
Absolutely.
Yeah, believe me, I meant it when I said bail money. Believe me, the police know me around here.
I'll make sure the check's in the mail.
Very cool. Having said that, my friend, I am going to have to wrap it up right now, but please don't go anywhere just yet. The staff want to get a few pickies and stuff like that before we send you on your way.
You got
I
it.
do want to very quickly, though, talk about your podcast. How do we get to see it? What's the content, and when you're next?
Wow. So the podcast that I started, it was another kind of pandemic thing where I had to do something. So I was very fortunate to get in touch with a bunch of friends of mine and just chit chat, find out how they're doing. So it was a really nice thing to get to find out, you know, how they're doing throughout this whole thing. Well, interesting enough, it was picked up for syndication, so it was resurrected a bit because I stopped doing it when summertime came around. I was able to get out and play a little bit. But I just finished up my first batch of interviews today, and it's going to be premiering on rockrageradio.com and the Rock Rage Radio Network, as well as all the podcast platforms and so on and so forth. Probably, I believe that the first one is starting on this Friday. So you might want to check that out. I'll have info on all of it on my website. I'm hoping within the next day or two. So be checking that out, and I'll have it all across social media as well. So it's called the Ken Valdez Approach. It's a lot of music, a lot of rock, a lot of blues, but I'm gonna throw in a little bit of some other stuff in there too. Maybe some comedians, maybe some friends of mine from TV, maybe things like that. So it's just it's a little something for everybody, but a lot of it is very focused on people who, like you, just what you're doing right now is showcasing music and people that you think that others should probably know. So yeah, definitely following in your shoes. I don't know if I'm necessarily asking for bail money, but I mean, I guess we'll have to see how it goes, huh?
We'll have to start a GoFundMe between us. What do you reckon?
Yeah, there we go. Yeah. I'll start it now just to make sure that I have the funds for the get out of jail money when I do get out.
There you go, believe me. And I'm not kidding. Literally. Are you familiar with Lord of the Rings?
Yes, I am.
Producer Peter Jackson. Believe me, can't really say a lot about Sir Peter Jackson simply because I went to university with the guy.
Oh, wow.
You know what I'm saying? Well, I know what he's like. I can't call him sir because I know what he's like when he's drunk.
There we go.
So believe me, you never know. We might be able to introduce you to Peter as well. One of the top richest guys in the country now.
I've kind of heard the same thing. That's amazing.
No, it doesn't surprise me. You wouldn't buy a beer for anybody when you was younger. What do you expect? Believe me. But a great guy, he really is. Anyway, my friend, we are going to have to move on, but please don't go anywhere right now. And please come back again, won't you?
Absolutely. Thank you guys so much for having me.
You're right here at Galaxy 107 FM, and today, of course, we're talking to Ken Valdez.
Another indie artist interview brought to you by Galaxy 107 FM in association with Rise Up TV, Big Record and Sony Music Launcher.
That was it.
There's a place round the corner called the watering hole. Credit's good with the bartender. Ain't a soul in the joint, I don't know. Got a real sweet sounding jukebox. It plays my favorite song. It goes, one more whiskey and water. One more whiskey and water. One more whiskey and water. I'll play it all night long. Hey you, what you doing in my bar stool? Yeah, that's my change, those are my cigarettes. Don't get excited, hey man, keep it cool. Besides, you ain't even heard my favorite song yet. It goes, one more whiskey and water. One more whiskey and water. that I do with my keys. It's locking up and closing. Could you play that song one more time, please? It goes, one more whiskey and water. One more whiskey and water. One more whiskey and water. I'll play it all night long.